I play the TCG, but it's less that I like to play the TCG and more that I like having a local experience that I'm able to share with my friends. Like I'm able to go to a locals and hang out with my friends who I don't really see that much because we don't really live near each other. So Scarlon kind of posted a while ago this idea where, I'm sorry, there's maybe a legitimate discussion to be had here, but almost every response to this is, I want to have my cake and eat it too. In regards to people going to events and still supporting the Konami industrial complex, even though, you know, they're trying to boycott the game or whatever. Sorry, that change requires effort sometimes. You could just go on a holiday with your friends. You don't have to go to a YTCS and see your people. Let's be fucking real, chat. A lot of us are only friends with each other or know each other through this game. A lot of us pour a lot of time, money, passion into this game. And when you take away that game, a lot of us don't really have that much in common with each other. Like, we are still tied together by, you know, the bonds that we make as friends or whatever, but it is much more difficult to gather a group of people who all have varying lives and schedules just to go out for, like, you know, dinner for a couple hours or XYZ thing for, you know, whatever, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Or whatever hobby you may be enjoying is the sort of central bond that you mentally give yourself in regards to having a sort of place to exist with your friends as a recreational thing. The one thing that makes Yu-Gi-Oh! Or in-person things so fun is because you're all tied together by this common unifying bond. I play basketball with a lot of people at Twitch. I play poker sometimes and I get recognized by the dealers and the players. But it's very different to be like, unless in very specific circumstances where I've known these people for years and like all of our schedules perfectly align, it's a lot more difficult to convince people to be like, hey, you guys want to go over to my house for dinner, or you guys want to go out and watch a movie or whatever, relative to, hey guys, do you want to test for the YCS? Or, hey guys, do you want to go to locals this week type deal. It's just like two completely different worlds, because one of these is a hobby which we're all able to sort of subconsciously and consciously make time for and adjust our entire schedules around, because again, it is our main recreational hobby, versus, you know, something that is purely recreation. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is something that a lot of people kind of use as like their one time, as in like, this is the one thing that's going to be a relaxation hobby for me, and if I take this away, I'm just gonna like end up watching TV or just doing my own stuff or doing errands or something. That's just like the reality of it, and being like, yeah, let's just go to vacation, guys, or something like that is just not crazy realistic, in my opinion. It could just be a timing thing, a much easier way of agreeing on a date, like we're all gonna be here anyway sort of thing. But also, that's a really good point. Why would you need Konami to plan the play date? People just so use the Konami planning the hangouts for them that they can't be bothered to plan themselves. Yeah, you're fine. Someone like Jesse probably does, to be fair. You travel enough and suddenly have friends from all over, and there's really never going to be a convenient time and place to see all of them exactly when there's a specific event that brings them all to the same room. I don't know if a Yu-Gi-Oh! Event is enough to convince your friends to go all out to the same place, but I feel like being good friends and wanting to hang out should be good enough too. That's what everyone else does. Not always. Like, let's be real. Not everyone has the same interests outside of Yu-Gi-Oh! The number one thing I would be like is, if I had to draw like a Venn diagram, like here's me, here's like my friend Jesse, and here's like my friend, or like Zeke. Like me and Zeke are able to play Magic the Gathering. Jesse's never gonna go to a Magic the Gathering event. And like me and Jesse are able to, I guess, you know, like play Edison or, you know, something like that. But like Zeke doesn't really care as much about Yu-Gi-Oh! To the same degree as we do, just because, you know, he has his own qualms regarding the game and is not really having like that much fun because, you know, the format's kind of dog shit. But we are able to have like this, you know, sort of core unifying thing in regards to Yu-Gi-Oh! Being it's our main bond. It's the main thing because we're able to go to events together, we're able to like test together. But when it comes to like individual interests, like my individual interests are like League of Legends, like Jesse's individual interests are like World of Warcraft, and like Jesse and like Zeke's individual interests is like CEDH in regards to Magic the Gathering. It's very, like, we have our own individual interests outside of Yu-Gi-Oh! Some of us, like, I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm going to hang out with, like, let's say example, like Basil. Like Basil, you know, we sort of have like League as this sort of like unifying bond, or like this sort of point of mutual interest. Like Basil's not gonna want to fucking hang out with like Zeke or Jesse, not just because like, you know, she doesn't really know them, but because they have nothing in common. And, like, they probably don't want to hang out with her just because like they don't have any real interest in like League of Legends or like EDM trap beats, you know, shit like that. It's like this very weird web to try and coordinate like 50 people. If you ever tried to like throw a party and you're making like the guest list, you will know exactly how hard it is to get people into like the same room with each other, especially on like a large scale. Because if you've like, you know, never tried to plan this sort of logistical nightmare, you're gonna end up with just like this sort of, well, you should just do it anyways, smile. Or all your friends are the same people, so you're all already friends, so just have them all be together, because my friends, my mutual friends, are not exactly, you know, my super close friends aren't super close friends of other people. That's just not how it works. What if me and all my friends share this one interest that make it so much more enjoyable to see each other and other an event dedicated to this one interest? Then I refer you to the middle sentence. I know it's easier to just go to a Yu-Gi-Oh event, but if you want to change, you have to put in the effort and find other ways to meet with your friends. You must have other mutual interests, see what knowledge are happening this year, etc. Problem is, people are different. Like, if it wasn't for Yu-Gi-Oh, a lot of us probably wouldn't be friends. Let's be fucking real. Like, Rosalind and I, we do not have a lot in common. We ended up, like, dating because, you know, the love was there and we were willing to, like, change and match for each other. And it's that sort of deal. But when it comes to, like, mutual interests, if you, like, printed out a blank piece of paper and just kind of were like, here are the things that Rosalind are into. Like, gacha games and, like, Monopoly Go and movies. I am not crazy into gacha games. I don't watch as many movies as I want to. And I don't give a shit about Monopoly Go. So I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not going to make an active effort to hang out with this individual. But obviously it's a very nebulous web of like what person A likes versus person B. Like obviously if you told Rosalind like, here's a guy that plays Yu-Gi-Oh and League of Legends and is extremely racist, she'd probably be like, no, I don't want to fucking talk with this guy. But if you tell us that, hey, you guys both play, like, let's say Magic the Gathering, which, or you both watch JoJo. Actually, funnily enough, Rosalind and I originally got together because we both loved JoJo's like part 3 and part 4. Like literally, I think one of our first dates, like Rosalind was wearing like a JoJo's part 3 shirt. I was like, this is it. Oh, it's my fucking, my goat, my queen. Why is it a bad thing? I feel like this is true for every hobby. It's not like a bad thing to be connected by a singular hobby. It's just a little ignorant to be like, yeah, you guys are friends anyways. Just go to an X hobby that everyone in your group will mutually agree to go to. It is very, very rare outside of extremely specific circumstances that is something, you know, just extremely generically easy to do. Like, you know, throw a party or go grab dinner or maybe have like a group travel to be like, yeah, just do it. Just hang out with friends. Like some people want to do basketball and some people aren't that athletic or are a fan of it, or you know, just like don't really like the sport. Some people want to watch a movie and some people aren't super into movies, or find issues yet you participate. Is stupid to say about mandatory things like society. It's not stupid to say about something that is completely voluntary to take part in. People are literally saying the game has to change or I will quit and still going to events. This is how change happens. Boycotts work, they always have. I'm gonna be real with you guys, chat. Boycotts don't really work in certain circumstances. Sometimes the reason why boycotts don't work is because some companies are completely fine with just letting a product die. What does a boycott work? Like Bud Light? That woke beer, that pronoun hormone injected Coors Light is gonna kill my baby or some shit like that. To be honest, Bud Light's a shit beer in general. I'm gonna be real, most beer's kind of shit. The only beer I've genuinely liked was a German beer I had at like a German place in the middle of San Francisco that was like on the side of the road, and they had like the greatest beer of all time. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. That's the only time I've been like, this beer is good. Not tolerable, not okay, not drinkable, but good. Something I would actively drink. But anyways, like some companies are completely fine with being like, all right, you guys want us to improve our product? That's gonna take too much time, too many resources, and we're just not dedicated to this product. So we're just gonna kill it. Scotland could say that like, you know, Konami has to like consider the health of the game or whatever. Konami is completely fine where they could theoretically just kill Yu-Gi-Oh in the States and have it be an OCG only thing, and it just wouldn't really matter because Konami doesn't really make money on like European events or NA events or NA cards. Konami could very easily just be like, yeah, fuck it, no more Yu-Gi-Oh in the States. We're gonna use that money and dedicate it to more slot machines, baby. 50% state slot machines in Dragon Link, 50% pachinko, baby. Like when a lot of people complained about like the Amazon phone. By the way, did you know that Amazon used to have a phone? Like when a bunch of people complained about like the Amazon phone or like the Google phone or like whatever, or like Apple products, Apple's not gonna be like, okay, fine, we're gonna fix our batteries or we're gonna blah, blah, blah. They just killed the product. Just like, you know what? Like, there's not a point. There's not a point to trying to support older models. There's not a point trying to keep every single customer happy. We're just gonna continue on what we're doing, what makes us money, and we're just going to either make people bite the bullet, or they can suck my fucking corporate dick. I'm Tim Cook. I'm Tim Cook, and I'm cucking you from Google. They tried to increase the target customer at the same time shitting in their current customers. Konami keeps releasing Blue Eyes India products support for a reason, yeah. Like, they know that, let's be real, most players are either going to quit the game and Konami's gonna lose, I don't know, because who fucking cares what the per player value is, because they know that collectors are still going to buy their products and distributors and blah 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 just because they're a lasting legacy name, and they're gonna rope in new like Yugi boomers because OMG new Dark Magician product, bat chest, OMG new Blue Eyes support, bat chest. If all the creators quit, I think a lot of their fans would too. Remember when Giant Skyhawk quit? Spoilers alert, he didn't really quit, but you know. I will fully admit, like, if I quit the game and I said I'm never uploading another Yu-Gi-Oh video ever again, I'm gonna be a League of Legends streamer, 99% of like my subscribers would immediately unsubscribe and just go to a creator who plays the game. They'll just go to Farfo or MBT. They're not gonna be like, you're right, Stevie, you're taking a great stand and I'm gonna have my name and I'm gonna have my mind changed. Like, maybe 1% of them will, but 99% of them are just gonna be like, okay, cool, I still enjoy this game to a certain degree and I still want to consume content for it. Like, obviously, if you say like every single content creator on planet Earth, like, sure, maybe, but realistically, people are still just gonna play this game in some capacity. Like, people quitting the game only at best just makes people kind of yap about it more. And if Konami ignores the yapping for long enough, like, let's be fucking real, people are just gonna forget about the people who quit the game. Like, oh, I guess like player A quit, huh? Damn, that's unfortunate. Anyways, do Blue Eyes support, bat chest. Popularity is still important, pro play kinda. All the time you aren't spending watching playing Yu-Gi-Oh, tourneys, or influencers is time you can spend watching other games. That's true. Like, I'll be real, I watch a lot of FFS, and I play a lot of League because of it. Because watching that sort of gameplay is like kind of fun for me, and I'm like, oh, I guess this is pretty swag. But it's not like if Bao stops streaming, I'm going to quit playing League of Legends. Like, I might after like a longer period of time, but I still enjoy the game now because I got into it because of him, and I'm just gonna keep continuing playing the game for this extended period of time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm already in the system. I've been indoctrinated. I've already spent money on Yu-Gi-Oh cards and League skin. I am going to put those to use while I still have the passion and interest in the hobby, you know what I mean? Sunk cost, yada yada. Yep, but also just because, you know, not every player, but let's be real, not every Yu-Gi-Oh player is a Twitter or YouTube Andy. It's not like 99% of people go to regionals or YCS are people who like actively consume Yu-Gi-Oh content or are like debate lording on fucking Yugi Twitter. It's like, who the fuck does that? I sound of like psychopaths and people nothing better to do. It's just like a very loud vocal minority that for the most part is able to like throw up a big stink and be like, oh, people are quitting the game, when in reality, again, more people are showing up to events. And again, that's another issue of, you know, people who grew up with the show finally getting more disposable income and that sort of deal. But like, the reality is that even though people are saying that the game is dying, that is true to an extent. It's just that the legacy players who have built this game, both in terms of content creation and pro play, are kind of being replaced by just a bunch of Zoomers. And once that new Zoomer wave comes out and realizes that, you know, this game just doesn't have any more content creators, like, maybe they'll quit the game and the game will actually die out and Konami will actually have to do something. Or Konami could just be like, fuck it, we're gonna can this product, we have no more audience to milk. This is gonna be our last set for the rest of human history. Please buy your pachinko machines, you know what I mean? I know this discussion was like kind of rambly, but let me know your thoughts in regards to, you know, how you guys communicate your friendships, I guess. How do you guys hang out with your Yu-Gi-Oh friends outside of Yu-Gi-Oh? I eat like barbecue with them. Shout outs to John's Grill and the time I almost burnt down his house. Shout outs to the time I almost burnt down Jesse's house. Shout outs to Soap. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Goodbye forever.